Today is Friday, September 23rd, 2016. And by now, I'm sure most of you have seen the video that was in the thumbnail to this video. And it's really just crazy. And it kind of encapsulates a lot about what I say about Miss Hillary Rotten Clinton, the leader of the Clinton Crime Foundation. Now, if you haven't seen it, I want to go ahead and roll it for you. But before I roll it, I want to just tee it up for you. Now, what was going on was that this was like a video conference. I'm not quite sure if it was a closed conference or whatever it was. And it was like to a labor union. So she was just trying to pitch herself to the union about, you know, she's pro-union, she's anti-right to work, which is really like a racist kind of thing because they had the same thing in apartheid South Africa to keep the blacks away from white society. But I digress. Whole point is that she's trying to make that point. But the way she's making the point is wild. So without further ado, go ahead and roll it.
And I will fight back against so-called right to work. Right to work is wrong for workers and wrong for America. Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? Well, the choice for working families has never been clearer. I need your help to get Donald Trump's record out to everybody. Nobody should be fooled. He proudly declared himself 100% right to work. He even hired a union-busting firm to break up an organizing campaign at his hotel in Las Vegas, where you are right now. And he built up his wealth by stiffing small businesses and contractors. That goes against everything we stand for as a country. My dad was a small businessman. I'm just happy he never did business with Trump.
Okay, so you saw that. Now you see how she was behaving. I mean, really, before I get into it, just let me ask you a question. If you are someone that wants to vote for Hillary Clinton or you don't like Donald Trump, why would you want this person to be in office? I mean, is this the kind of person you want to see when your nation is in trouble, when something's happening? Is that the kind of voice you want to have? That shrill, in your face, grinding type of annoying, crotchety old lady? Now, I'm not an ageist or whatever. There's a lot of senior citizens that do great work in society. You know, Trump is actually older than Hillary, and I'm a big fan of Trump, but Trump does not come off like a crotchety old man. But Hillary does. Hillary kind of comes off like the grandma who just got left in the driveway when the family is about to go off to vacation. Right? That's how she comes off like. I mean, it's just that simple. This is not the kind of person that's fit to be the president. I mean, just your temperament. You got to be able to have a level head. You can't be doing all this. That's just not presidential. These kind of videos remind me of the Howard Dean screen.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
You remember that? And when he did that, it was just completely embarrassing because this is like, that's not how you behave if you're trying to become the president. You can't be having these crazy outbursts of, you know, screaming and stuff like that. And you know, really what Hillary is doing, she may be getting advice from her friend Bernie Sanders because Bernie did something similar during the actual campaign.
Jesus.
So maybe she's getting advice from him. I can't call it, but whatever it is not good on her part. And the question that she asked, why is she up 50 points over Donald Trump? I mean, I'll answer the question. I mean, number one, videos just like what we saw where she's behaving like, I don't even know what's going on, like a manic, a crotchety old lady, like she had some type of mental illness. And also because of her numerous health problems. I mean, we already saw her fall out during the 9/11 memorial. And then we saw the crazy head and neck movements when she was at the Starbucks or whatever that was. So at a certain point, we have to ask, is this person suited? Is this person suitable to be the president of the United States of America? If you look at all the evidence, it's pointing towards no. Just from her behavior, the Clinton Crime Foundation, all of that, that's one thing. But just her general behavior and how she conducts herself on the campaign trail is something completely different. And the thing about this is that I don't think this is going to get any better. You know, we got a debate coming up. Today is Friday, September 23rd, but we got a debate coming up on Monday, the 26th of September. And I mean, they got to stand up. She's not happy about that. You know, they got to stand up, physically stand up during the actual debate. I think it was a rumor going around that they were going to be able to use chairs. I'm not sure if that's true anymore. I think they got to actually be at the podium standing up. And if Hillary has to do that for an extended period of time and her medication is not working properly to keep her alleged Parkinson's disorder under control, that's going to be bad. Now, if she falls out during the actual debate, I'm not really going to be somebody that laughs necessarily, but what I will do is say this person is unfit. If you're falling out on stage during the actual debate, how can you possibly be prepared to hold the office of the presidency? You are not prepared to do that. And it's just that simple. And I think through all of these machinations of whatever her illness, disorder, disease is that we're constantly seeing in front of us, from falling out to having the crazy head and neck movements to having the situation at the actual coronation speech where she looked like a completely just awestruck dwarf at the balloons that were in the sky, looking like something straight out of a Disney movie. When we see these things happen, we can't continue to ignore them. At a certain point, those things must be part of what makes our decision about who we're going to vote for. Because if these things are happening right now during the campaign, when you're supposed to be putting your best foot forward, what happens when you become the president, when you're going to have good days and bad days? Right? Just as a human being, you're going to have good days and bad. But when you're already messing up during the actual campaign cycle, when you're supposed to put your best foot forward at all times, it's not going to get better. And like I say, she's up there in age. She'll be 69 in October before the actual election. If she was to become elected, God forbid, within her first year, she would turn 70. So she's not getting any younger. She's not a spring chicken. And she's already exhibiting behavior of someone that is having age-related issues. And I just hope that anyone that wants to vote for her, or people that don't want to vote because they don't want to vote for Donald Trump, take that into consideration. My final thoughts on it are, this is just one more video that we have to prove that Hillary Clinton is not suited to be the president of the United States of America. So what do you think? Do you think that this video is just, you know, another example, like I said, of her having these issues, mental problems, or just maybe that's her personality in general? Maybe it's not a mental defect as far as some kind of disease, but maybe it's just how she is. Do you think that, or do you think that I'm kind of blowing it out of proportion, that this video is not as bad as what it seems? Is she doing all this stuff here just to kind of get her point across, to be a little bit more passionate and to invoke some high energy? I mean, that could be the reason, but I doubt it. I mean, because like I said, we've seen other videos that point to her having some kind of problem with her personality. Maybe it's because of an illness or disorder. I don't know what it is. But I'm done for now. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Nobody should be fooled.